Good day, my dear student friends. Myself, Mr. Syed Hassan Kazi, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, Tondadare College of Engineering, Gadag. In this video session, let us learn how to derive the torsional stiffness matrix for a shaft element, and how to solve the problems on torsion of shafts using finite element method to determine the angle of twist at each node and the shear stress in each element. Okay, first let us derive the stiffness matrix, torsional stiffness matrix for a shaft element. Okay, now how to do the finite element formulation of shafts in torsion of shafts. I have considered a shaft of diameter d and let T be the applied torque at the end. Let this end be fixed so that it will undergo twisting. Okay, we know that torsion of shaft is nothing but twisting of the shaft by the applied torque. Due to that, each location of the shaft will undergo angle of twist. Okay, now we will derive now the torsional stiffness matrix for the shaft element. We know that in strength of materials, torsional stiffness is defined as the maximum torque or twisting moment required to produce unit angle of twist. That is, you can say torsional stiffness K is given by it is the maximum amount of torque or twisting moment which is required to produce unit angle of twist in the shaft. This is nothing but torsional stiffness. By using this equation only, by using the strength of materials equation for torsion of shaft for a torsional stiffness, we will deduce the equilibrium equation we are using, K into theta is equal to T. This equilibrium equation we are using to determine the angle of twist at each node of the shaft element. K into theta is equal to T. Okay. Now we'll move on to the derivation part to derive the torsional stiffness matrix for the shaft element. Let us consider a shaft of length L and which is subjected to the applied torque T at its end. Due to this, if you observe this layer OA will get twisted to OB, will get angular deformed to OB due to this applied torque. Okay, that angular deformation I have denoted here, that is phi. Okay, phi is the angular deformation and it is called as shear strain. That already we know, that is, it is the angular displacement. That angular displacement is called as shear strain. Let phi be the shear strain. Next, due to this, let capital R, the capital R be the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost fiber, okay. And now here you can observe that R is the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost fiber. Hence, for the solid shaft, R will become, that is the radius of the shaft. Okay. Now next come to the included angle due to this arc AB. Here also the angle of twist we have, which has been initially it was you can say it was OA. Now it has been twisted to OB like this, OA to OB. The included angle of twist will be, let us say, it will be d theta. Okay. Now let us model this shaft as a single element. If I model this shaft as a single element, at each node you have the properties, only one unknown, that is the angle of twist. At each node we have one unknown, that is angle of twist, 1 DOF only, and we have the two properties, that is torque and the angle of twist at each node, and let L be the length of the shaft element. Okay. Now next, let T1 and T2 are the end torques at nodes 1 and 2 respectively. Theta 1 and theta 2 are the end twists, that is angle of twist at nodes 1 and 2 respectively. The torsional deformation of the shaft segment OA to OB, that is OA to OB, due to applied torque T is it is given by, you can say, if you get the arc length AB, that arc length AB can be written as that included angle phi into length of this layer, that is phi into L, that is equal to, if you take this side, it is also can be equal to R radius into d theta. Okay. Now from this equation can be written as, where phi is the shear strain and L is the length of the element of the shaft and R is the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost fiber of the cross section. And what is d theta? D theta is, can be written as theta 2 minus theta 1 for this element, that is change in angle of twist between the two nodes of the element. Change in angle of twist between the two nodes of the element. Okay. Now we'll move on to, we will write this, rearrange this equation. You can write from this equation phi is equal to R into d theta by L. Correct? Okay. Now we will move on to the next page. Here you can observe in the next page. Okay, phi is equal to R into d theta by L I wrote, where and phi is equal to R by L into what is d theta, that is the change in angle of twist between the two nodes, that can be written as theta 2 minus theta 1. Okay, and we know that modulus of rigidity, that is given by the modulus of rigidity of the material of the shaft is given by, it is the ratio of shear stress to shear strain. Okay, tau by phi. Then, and what is tau now? Okay, just I will substitute tau, I will substitute for phi here. If you write tau equation, tau is equal to G into phi. Okay, now just wait. From this ratio of modulus of rigidity, I can write tau is equal to G into phi. I will substitute for phi from this equation into this equation. Then I will get, then tau is equal to G into phi. Phi is this equation you substitute, R by L into theta 2 minus theta 1. You will get like this. That is what tau is equal to GR by L, theta 2 minus theta 1. Okay, now we know that T by J is equal to tau by R, that is the torsion equation, where T is the applied torque or applied twisting moment, J is the polar moment of inertia of the cross section of the shaft, and tau is the shear stress in the material of the shaft, and R is the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost fiber. Okay, from this equation I can write T is equal to tau by R into J. Now what I will do, I will substitute for tau from this equation. Okay, now I will get an equation for twisting moment. T is equal to, if you substitute for tau, okay, into this equation, if you substitute for this tau into this equation, you will get T. Okay, what is that T? You will get T is equal to, this is the tau which I have substituted from this equation, JR by theta 2 minus theta 1, and remaining is J by R. Now in this equation, R gets cancelled and remains T is equal to Gj by L, theta 2 minus theta 1. This is the equation we got. Now from this I will apply the conditions now. At node 1, T is equal to minus T1. Why? Because minus T1 I have substituted because it is the resisting twisting moment, it is opposing, hence I used negative. If you substitute T is equal to minus T1 into this equation, then T1 will become Gj by L, theta 1 minus theta 2, because of minus in nature. Minus of theta 2 minus theta 1 will become theta 1 minus theta 2. This is the first equation. Now next come to the second node. At node 2, T is equal to torque is T2. At second node, T is equal to T2. That is at node 2, twisting moment at node 2, torque at node 2. If you substitute for that, then T2 will become Gj by L, theta 2 minus theta 1. These are the two equations. Name these two equations. If these two equations are written in matrix form, we will get T1 T2 is equal to Gj by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 and theta 1 theta 2. Okay, now you can verify it. If you use the first equation, T1 is equal to Gj by L into bracket 1 into theta 1 minus theta 2, that is theta 1 minus theta 2. That is the first equation. Okay, and the second equation, if you verify, second equation we got T2 is equal to Gj by L into second equation minus theta 1 plus theta 2, that is theta 2 minus theta 1, that is T2 is equal to Gj by L, theta 2 minus theta 1. Like this we got this. You can say it is a equilibrium equation. This is what the finite element formulation of the torsion of shaft. Okay, now you can observe here, this can be written as, this vector is T is equal to this vector, this matrix Gj by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. This matrix is torsional stiffness matrix into this vector is angle of twist, that is theta. We got T is equal to K into theta. Now it can be verified with the strength of materials statement, that is torsional stiffness is defined as the amount of twisting moment or torque required to produce unit angle of twist in the shaft material, that is K is equal to stiffness is equal to T by theta. From this equilibrium equation you can write K is equal to T by theta. This is what the torsional stiffness matrix. Okay, in this equilibrium equation what we got, that K into theta is equal to T. Here K into theta is equal to T. In this equilibrium equation we got the the torsional stiffness matrix for a shaft element. Hence torsional stiffness matrix for a shaft element is given by Gj by L into bracket 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and order of the stiffness matrix you can observe here 2 cross 2, because for a torsion of shaft element having two nodes, at each node there are at each node there is only 1 degrees of freedom, that is only one unknown, that is theta 1 and theta 2. Theta 1 is the angle of twist at node 1 and theta 2 is the angle of twist at node 2. Okay, there is only one unknown to be calculated at each node of the shaft element which is subjected to torsion or twisting load. Okay, hence at each node there is only one unknown, that is angle of twist. Hence there are totally two unknowns for a single element having two nodes. Then the order of the torsional stiffness matrix for the shaft element is 2 cross 2. I hope you have understood. And the formula, this is the formula to determine the torsional stiffness matrix for individual elements of the shaft. The formula for individual elements of the shaft torsional stiffness matrix is given by Gj by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay, the same we will discuss in the next page. Okay, now we have derived this one in detail. I have explained the torsional stiffness matrix. T is equal to K into theta, where K is torsional stiffness matrix of a shaft element, and T is the torque vector, theta is the angle of twist. Okay, now come to what is Ke. We got torsional stiffness matrix Gj by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Order of the stiffness matrix we got 2 cross 2 from the derivation, because at each node only one unknown, that is angle of twist. Okay, total there are two nodes in a single element, two nodes, two unknowns, hence order of the stiffness matrix we got 2 cross 2. And what is G here? You need to substitute the element information here in this formula. What is that G? G is the modulus of rigidity of the material of the element. You need to substitute. What is J now? Polar moment of inertia of cross section of the shaft element. Okay, now what is the polar moment of inertia for this one? For solid shaft, if you consider pi d raised to 4 by 32, where d is the diameter of the solid shaft. If it is a hollow one, it is a hollow shaft, then J is polar moment of inertia is given by pi by 32 d naught raised to 4 minus di raised to 4, where d naught is the outer diameter of the shaft and di is the inner diameter of the shaft. Okay, now next come to L, that length of the element of the shaft. You just need to substitute and you calculate the stiffness matrix for that particular element. For all the elements, you by substituting Gj and L, you calculate the stiffness matrices and assemble those matrices by using the procedure as we have adopted in the previous videos for the bars, trusses and beams. Okay, and shear stress in each element of the shaft is given by, it can be calculated by using this formula, tau E is equal to Gr by L theta 2 minus theta 1, that is angle of twist of the final node minus angle of twist of the initial node, where G is the modulus of rigidity of the material of the shaft element and R is the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost fiber. Okay, what is that R? R is, you can write, R can be written as, that is d naught by 2 for the hollow shaft, and R is equal to d by 2 for the solid shaft. Okay, now and L is the length of the shaft element. Okay, I hope you have understood. This is how you need to derive the torsional stiffness matrix for a shaft element subjected to torsion or the twisting moment. This is the formula for the torsional stiffness matrix, and this is one of the derivation which is been asked in previous video question papers of 15 ME 61 subject code to derive the torsional stiffness matrix for 8 to 10 marks. Okay, you just go through, and now we'll move on to we will take one problem and we will solve one problem so that you will understand better. Okay, now this problem, if you consider, okay, we will consider. Okay, now what is this? Now this is the shaft given, stepped shaft, which is subjected to the torques 3 kilonewton meter at this change in cross section, and at the end one more end torque, that is 1 kilonewton meter. Both are in the same direction. Okay, now next each this one step is having circular cross section, that is diameter 100 mm for the first step. Second step it is given 50 mm diameter, and length of the first step is 200 mm, length of the second step is 400 mm, and take Young's modulus is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square, and modulus of rigidity 7 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per mm square. This is what the problem on the torsion of shaft which is subjected to the twisting moment or torsion. Okay, here determine the angle of twist at each node and shear stress in the shaft. Okay, how do you determine? Now first you let us generate a finite element model. How do you generate a finite element model? Since there is a change in cross section here and also change in loading, I will locate first node here, and second node here at the change in cross section, and third node here, so that I will choose 3 nodes and 2 elements like this, that is 1 2 3 and 2 elements, and each element, first element length 200 and second element length 400 mm. Okay, now next I will move on to let us now generate the torsional stiffness matrices for both the elements, element 1 and element 2. Torsional stiffness matrix for element 1 is given by, we know that the formula K1 is equal to Gj by L1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay, now you substitute for the values of G, J and L. What is the modulus of rigidity of the material of the shaft? G is same, that modulus of rigidity of the material of the shaft, the entire shaft is made up of same material, that is 7 into 10 raised to 4. You just substitute the value of G, that is 7 into 10 raised to 4. And what is J value? J. Okay, now here the first step is having diameter 100 mm, second step is having 50 mm, hence J value differs. For the element 1, J1 I have calculated here, pi d raised to 4 by 32, that is the formula to find the polar moment of inertia for a solid shaft, and just you substitute the diameter 100 mm, pi d raised to 4 by 32 in this. If you calculate this ratio, pi d raised to 4 by 32, we got J1 as 98.17 into 10 raised to 5 mm raised to 4. You just substitute 98.17 into 10 raised to 5 here. G is 7 into 10 raised to 4. J is 98.17 into 10 raised to 5 for this element 1, and element 1 length, that is for the first step length is given 200 mm, then you substitute length 200 mm into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and next if you calculate the ratio, we got 34.36 into 10 raised to 8. I will keep 10 raised to 8 outside and 34.36 inside, like this. And after that you write the DOF numbers for the element 1 consisting of 2 nodes, initial node 1, final node 2. You write 1 2 1 2 like this. Now come to torsional stiffness matrix for the element 2, Gj by L, the same formula. You just substitute the value of G and J. The modulus of rigidity is same, 7 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per mm square. Here one thing you remember, all the data I am substituting here in terms of mm. If you want to substitute in terms of meter, you may substitute, that will be time consuming. If all the data is given in meters, you substitute in meters, but maintain the same set of data. If you are substituting in mm, means all the values must be in mm only, not in. Okay, next 7 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per mm square is the G value I am substituting. And what is the J value? That polar moment of inertia for element 2. I have calculated pi d raised to 4 by 32. What is the D? Diameter of the second element is given by 50 mm diameter, that pi 50 raised to 4 by 32. If you calculate the ratio, you got 6.135 into 10 raised to 5. Hence, okay, now I will substitute G value 7 into 10 raised to 4, and the second element J value, is this one, 6.135 into 10 raised to 5 divided by the length of the second element, that is second step, that is 400. And if you get the ratio of this Gj by L values, you will get 1.07 in 10 raised to 8, and you keep the same common as in case of K1, okay, 10 raised to 8 outside and 1.07 inside. And after that you write the DOF numbers for reference. For element 2 consisting of two nodes 2 to 3, initial node 2, final node 3, you write 2 3 2 3 here. After that you assemble both the stiffness matrices to get the global stiffness matrix K. How do you assemble it? K is equal to, first you write the same common which is maintained in both the matrices outside, that is 10 raised to 8. And after that, since there are 3 nodes 1 2 3, at each node only one unknown, that is theta, hence total unknowns are 3. Hence the global stiffness matrix size of the global stiffness matrix will be 3 cross 3, so that you generate 3 rows and 3 columns, okay, like this. After that you just write the terms here, 1 2 1 2, these terms into this box, and 2 3 2 3, these terms into this box. You will find one common term, that is 2 2, which is available in both the element matrices, and remaining whichever is blank you just write it as 0. Okay, now we'll move on to next page. Once you find the global stiffness matrix like this, you move on to the equilibrium equation we will write now. Before that, to write the global equilibrium equation, first applied torques we will discuss now. What is the applied torque? Applied torque given is, since node 1 is fixed, hence there is no applied torque there, T1 is equal to 0 I will write. And at node 2 there is applied torque of 3 kilonewton meter. 3 kilonewton meter. Here you can observe it is given that at node 2 3 kilonewton meter, and at node 3 1 kilonewton meter. Okay, now in the same direction these are given, hence I will take it as positive. Okay, both are both applied torques are in the same direction. Now what I will do, okay, now here you can observe T1 is equal to 0 I wrote, and applied torque at node 2 it is given 3 kilonewton meter, but we have substituted all the data, modulus of rigidity in Newton per mm square, and J value in mm raised to 4, and length of the element mm. Then you need to convert it into Newton mm. Then if you convert it into kilonewton to Newton, you will get 10 raised to 3 Newton. Meter to mm, that is 10 raised to 3 mm. Total 3 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. And applied torque at node 3 is 1 kilonewton meter, that is 1 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. Okay, now just we will write the global equilibrium equation. What is the global equilibrium equation? We have K into theta is equal to T. Okay, what is K? That is the global stiffness matrix. We got 34.36 minus 34, just whatever just now we have calculated, you just write global stiffness matrix, and this is the combination of addition of 34.36 and 1.07, which is the common, and then into theta, that theta matrix is theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. These are the unknowns, angle of twists at node 1, node 2 and node 3. And this is T1, T2, T3. Applied torque at node 1, that is 0. Applied torque at node 2, 3 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. And applied torque at node 3, T3, that is 1 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. Like this you substitute the data, and global equilibrium equation you will get. Now since node 1 is fixed in the problem, then angle of twist is 0. Hence if angle of twist is 0, eliminate first row and first column using elimination method. Using elimination method, you eliminate first row and first column like this. Then remaining will be the terms 10 raised to 8 outside, 35.43 minus 1.07 minus 1.07, 1.07 into theta 2, theta 3 is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 6, 1 into 10 raised to 6. If you solve these two equations, If you solve these two equations, we will get theta 2 as 0.00116 radians and theta 3 0.0105 radians. These are the angle of twists in radians. If you want to calculate angle of twist in degrees, you can convert it into by multiplying these terms into 180 by pi. Then you will get in degrees the angle of twist, whatever the calculation you got in radians only. Okay, these are the angle of twist. Now what else is asked in the problem? Shear stress in each element. How do you calculate the shear stress in each element? That formula we have discussed in the derivation itself, that shear stress in each element is given by gr by L into theta 2 minus theta 1. That is where now for shear stress in element 1, you substitute for G, modulus of rigidity is given 7 into 10 raised to 4. And what is the R? R value is, that is 50. That is for solid shaft. It is for the element 1. Element 1 is having diameter 100 mm. Then the radius, what is the radius you will get? 100 by 2, that is the 50, and divided by the length of the first element is 200 given. 200 you substitute, and into bracket theta 2 minus theta 1, that already we have calculated theta 2 0.00116 minus theta 1 is 0. You substitute, and if you calculate this expression, you will get tau 1 shear stress in element 1 is given by 20.3 Newton per mm square of shear stress is induced in the element 1. Next, likewise, you find out shear stress in element 2, gr by L into bracket element 2 is initial consisting of initial node 2, final node 3 of length of the element 400 mm. Okay, then you just since gr, now you write the formula gr by L into bracket theta 3 minus theta 2, final node minus initial node, difference in angle of twist. 7 into 10 raised to 4 is the G value, substitute. R value 25, because diameter of the element 2 is 50 mm, it is given, then R will become 25, divided by the length of the element is 400, into bracket theta 3 minus theta 2. If you substitute theta 3, we got 0.0105 minus theta 2 0.00116. Like this you substitute, and after that, if you calculate this expression, you will get shear stress in element 2 is 40.86 Newton per mm square. That means 40.86 Newton per mm square of shear stress is induced in the second element of the shaft. Dear students, this is how you need to derive the torsional stiffness matrix for the shaft element subjected to torsion or twisting moment, and this is how you can calculate, you can determine the angle of twist at each nodes of the shaft element, and the shear stress in each shaft element for the torsion of shafts. Now in this video session we have covered how to derive derivation of torsional stiffness matrix for a torsion element, torsion of shaft element, and next in this video session we have learnt how to determine the angle of twist and the shear stress in the shaft subjected to torsion or twisting moment by using elimination method in finite element method. Okay, now your assignment is you just go through the previous VTU question papers of 15 ME 61 subject code, and you try to solve the problems on torsion of shaft and derive the torsional stiffness matrix, and let me know whatever you have doubts. Do not hesitate to ask the doubts. Okay, so thank you, stay safe, stay healthy, take care.